It's life. We're about to make you move. We are gonna party tonight.
My name is Eriel Huang. I was born in Taiwan and raised in South Africa. My family moved when I was 6, and very soon after I started playing violin. And throughout my youth growing up, I started learning English at the same time as when I started violin lessons, and I had also started volunteering at a very young age. So the notion of music and community was always a very close relationship. It was very intertwined for me. And being a foreigner at such a young age, I was very oftentimes bullied at school for just looking different. And I have a younger brother, and both of us went through various similar kinds of trauma, which as a child is very scarring. And that was the beginning, coupled with my volunteering experience, to really be able to find a way of showing my worth as a young person, even though I was different, but I knew there was inherently something deeper that I could offer. And through my music and really working hard at school, and be it winning awards. South Africa, we've got the British education system, so we had to wear uniforms. So we would oftentimes have badges or awards, or the piping of your blazer would show that you've had some achievement. And my brother Eric and I had both gone through that. So in a way, that was our way of overcoming this indifference, if you will, the manifestation of indifference, and the picking out and the picking of individuals, that whatever the differences were. And because it was post-apartheid South Africa, we moved just after Mandela got released from prison and before he got elected as the first democratic president of South Africa. It was a very interesting time growing up. The first 2 classes of my primary school, I didn't have any black children in my class, and it was only much later on they started coming in to the schooling system of the suburbs, and that was partly because their mothers came to work as maids and other white sort of lower or middle upper class families. And it was a very raw dynamic growing up, because you had my classmates, there was me, there was a black child whose mother worked for the other classmates' parents, and they would live in, oftentimes back in South Africa, we would have what's called granny cottages, and they would be turned into maid quarters. So the mother would come, and there was a huge urban migration movement. The mothers would come bring in their children because they had no other money for daycare. So moving along, many of my friends growing up were of all colors and of all ethnic backgrounds, and that really developed my capacity to enjoy and learn from people of all different backgrounds. And the bullying thing from childhood, I think, going into the world of being a professional musician, had translated into other types of discrimination. And bullying having taken form in my life in different shapes and guises, having any sort of tool or compass or a support group, I found was absolutely essential growing up, because it meant that I could reach out to other peers that were going through the same thing. Maybe others weren't as vocal as I was, and I was very vocal as a child. And being a violinist gave me, in a way, an extra voice. It gave me a different identity. It gave me a form of escape at times. But most of all, it gave me a sense of purpose.